Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. It's October the 1st. Can you believe it? October. Unbelievable. A month from now, Halloween will be over, and it'll be time to get into Christmas mode. I can't wait. Happy Halloween's coming, but can't wait for a month from today, honestly. Anyway, before we get started, one, thank you again for all your feedback. I've gotten a few from the other vlogs. Believe me, I take it all into consideration because you don't grow without either criticism or feedback from other people. Some of it's good, some of it's bad, some of it's indifferent. It's all the same. You know, you got to take it, learn from it, and grow. You know, I know the DVC thing isn't everybody's cup of tea, if you will, but in order to grow and do things differently, you got to be willing to take a few risks. There's very few people actually go that direction on DVC. I didn't do it because I'm just trying to be an asshole or anything. I did it because I truly don't think it's a good value. I think the resorts are stunning. In fact, that's what we're doing today. We're doing more resort tours. People seem to like those a lot. But anyway, you know, we're gonna continue to evolve on this channel, and today we're changing the name. So with this being uploaded, you'll notice a different name change. We're gonna go from Main Street Fire Rescue to Fire Medic Adventures Unplugged. The reason for adding the Unplugged in there, we're doing it differently. That's how I want to brand this channel. I don't want to be the same. I want to be different, and it's just I don't want to do it like everybody else does. So that's where the Unplugged comes from. We're unplugging from the norm, unplugging from the matrix, if you will. And Fire Medic, which obviously is me, that's been a large part of my life. I've been a firefighter and a paramedic combined. And then of course this is all about adventures. I think Main Street Fire Rescue, while it held a lot of meaning to me, because I came up with that years ago, I think, you know, and this came after a comment that was made, which was, again, good feedback. The name means a lot to me, but it doesn't mean a lot to anybody else. You know, it's just there, and people that are looking for adventure YouTube videos and that, it doesn't really ring. And Main Street, you know, I came up with the idea, Main Street of Magic Kingdom, with their fire department there, which hasn't had an engine in-house for almost a year now. But, you know, so that's where Main Street Fire Rescue came from. But I do get it. It doesn't really resonate with what I'm doing, and it doesn't quite add up to what people are looking for. So I think Fire Medic Adventures Unplugged is going to be good, and we'll see how that goes. If we need to change it again, we'll change it, but I really think that this will help a lot. So from now moving forward, welcome to Fire Medic Adventures Unplugged. We're doing it differently than everybody else. And also, one more thing, and I know I want to get to the video, trust me, but prayers to everybody in North Carolina and every community that was affected by this horrendous storm, even here in Florida. North Carolina, the western side, got absolutely demolished. I have some friends of mine that are actually on their way now through various resources to help out. It's something that, you know, if I were to be called up, I would go without a problem. Absolutely wouldn't even ask me twice to go. I do have Swiftwater Rescue, and I am a paramedic, so if need be, I'm ready to go up there. But obviously, when you have something like that, you have to, you know, they're going to call you up by task force and all that. So believe me, if I get called up there or have the opportunity to go, I'm not even going to take a split second to make a decision. I'm going, because those people need a lot of help. So to all the people involved, the residents, everybody working in the hospitals, fire, police, EMS, you know, if military's been involved, anybody that's helping out right now, prayers are with you. Stay safe, and let's get through this. And like anything else, we'll all get through it together. All right, so what are we doing today? We are here. I'm at Hollywood Studios right now, but I'm only here for a moment. Today we're doing another Disney hotel tour, hotel resort tour. This time we're moving from the big and the bad resorts from Coronado and Wilderness Lodge. We're going to the value resorts. We're going over to the Art of Animation. I guess that could be a moderate. It depends on who you ask. But we're doing Art of Animation today. I was going to do Art of Animation and Pop Century together. There's a lot to see at both of them. I don't want to do that. So I'm going to keep them both as separate vlogs. So today we're going to focus on Art of Animation. Right now we're going to take the Disney Skyliner over to the Art of Animation. Welcome everybody to the channel. Welcome to Fire Medic Adventures Unplugged. Let's get started. We're now in service. And right here is a directional sign. Straight ahead's our Skyliner. There we go. One of the other things we're going to cover on this channel too, while we're taking the Skyliner ride over, is we're not only going to cover adventures in different theme parks, but we're going to do sporting events, and then also like home vlogs and even out and about, how to keep yourself healthy on vacation, not just here in Orlando at Disney, but wherever you may travel. All kinds of different tips and everything to keep yourself nice and healthy. We got lots ahead, lots and lots of stuff ahead. I can't wait.
We are on our way to Disney's Caribbean Beach Resort with connecting flights to Epcot International Gateway, Disney's Pop Century Resort, and Disney's Art of Animation Resort.
That's us!
Did you know that the entire Walt Disney World Resort is over 40 square miles? That's about the same size as the city of San Francisco and double the island of Manhattan.
Here we are. We got cabin 304. This one's not wrapped either. I like these. You don't have to worry about going cross-eyed trying to look at the scenery. I wish Disney, I know why they wrapped them all. Well, not all of them, but a large portion of them. But I really wish they would have just kept them all in wrapped, because it's a lot harder to see through the wrapped ones. Also, this one, of all of the Skyliner tours, if you want to call it, or the Skyliner routes, this is the lowest to the ground, going from Caribbean Beach to Pop Century and Art of Animation. This one's also very unique too, as it goes right over Hourglass Lake. And they call it that because if you look at it from way up top, it looks like a giant hourglass. Incoming! So from this landing area, if you will, or this floating platform, so officially now, welcome everybody to Walt Disney World's Art of Animation Resort. This is probably one of my more favorite resorts to walk around in. The attention to detail in this place is unlike anything that you will see at a lot of hotels. Like, this is something that would be like Vegas type of theming. This is what I like to call Walt Disney World Imagineering at its finest. You've heard me mention that several times in my other vlogs, and you can see by just the way this place is detailed that it looks like you're getting ready to step into one of Walt Disney World's animated movies. And the ones that you see on the exterior here, you'll notice Lightning McQueen, and then over here you've got Ariel, and then Nemo, and then Simba's way over here at the end. These represent the themed lands that are showcased here at the resort, and they're done as if they were put on drawing paper. There's a lot to showcase here, so we're going to get started. Basically, we're going to start here at Animation Hall, which is the main lobby. And there's a lot of really neat artifacts in there. And then we're going to work our way out and through this incredible Disney World Resort. One thing I want to point out as well is this is considered one of the value resorts. Or I guess now it's more of a moderate, but it originally was billed as a value resort. What Disney wanted is they wanted to start to entice families of all levels to be able to come to Disney World. I know that's been a hot topic as of late because of how expensive everything is and how much debt people are incurring to come here. But different time, different vlog, different time. But this came along with Pop Century and the All-Star Sports and movies and music resorts as well. We're going to cover those in another time. But Disney wanted everybody to have a shot at coming to Disney World, and they also wanted to prevent people, they wanted to entice people to stay on property. And what better way than to make hotels from all price ranges? So that's what led to the one behind me, and then the All-Star Sports, Pop Century. You could argue that Port Orleans Riverside and Port Orleans French Quarter could fall into that, but that's one of the main reasons these were done. They wanted to have families to have a whole option of pricing and where to stay. And like Disney does best, they wanted to immerse them in the theming. This resort probably immerses you in the theming probably better than the majority of the resorts out here. Now, are they all incredibly themed? 100%. But it's just the way this is done. This is done on such an amazing level. Also, as we walk into Animation Hall here, the theming of this is meant to depict animation from starting with the sketches on paper all the way to completion, which you'll notice when we first walk in here, it does exactly as it says. You'll see sketches, you'll see drawings, and you'll see all kinds of vivid colors, and you'll see examples of sketches and drawings and everything. And then when we walk outside to the rest of the resort, it's like you're looking at the completed project. Also, before we get too far into the resort, I want to showcase this as well. They have all kinds of activities at all of the different resorts. You can do this, Artists of Animation. You can do these on Tuesdays at 12 p.m., $40 plus tax. A little bit of money, but you get to paint your own masterpiece, and that's it. That's what we're painting right now, probably for Halloween. They have a dance class. They got Storytime Yoga, and then they got character hunts too. So you can go to the front desk and ask for the... it's kind of like a little scavenger hunt. You ask about that at the front desk. And then here is everything offered. And this is just at the Art of Animation resort here. So you can imagine all the other resorts, what they got going on. And also to get the full effect of this lobby, I'm starting here. There's two front entrances. There's where I went in to start over there, and then there's this one, which is right under the canopies. So as you come in, you can see the rough sketching right here, right? And look across, so you see the rough sketches, and look across, it's gray like pencil, and of course there's nothing here on the walls. Now as we move through, watch the sketchings go from like pencil lead color, and everything starts to obtain a color hue to it. So right here is where you first start seeing your coloring. And then also if you follow the floor starts to add color as well, which then right here, this is a really neat detail. So you see the green right here, right? The green and the yellows. Well, if you follow the green all the way down, you have the green in the floor detail and the orange and yellow floor detail. Follow this around and the blue, and it kind of merges with the pencil, the lead pencil color in the flooring here, and then you start to see color coming into the drawings. Again, I'm doing this because people need to, I get it, man, we're here having fun, there's time to go to theme parks and that, but there's so many amazing details in this resort that people don't even give a second thought to. So as you can see, as we move through, the drawings and the sketches are getting more colorful, but then also look at the floor. You can follow the floor, and then it's also following the color palette up there behind the desk. And again, I think it's amazing detail, but the front desks are like the paint bottles, and the color is pouring out of the bottles and on the floor over to the wall of art. Such a cool detail. And then as we work our way this way, now everything is completely filled in. Instead, you're going from the raw kind of rough drawings to now we're filling everything in with color. And then also over here, the color palette is changing as well. And so is the colors on the floor. And then back to the wall again, we're going from rough sketching to now finished product. How freaking cool is this, right? And then from here, you go to the showcased product over here on the wall as it's been framed and put up for all to see. I will tell you this, if you've ever been to Disneyland, if you were ever a big Cars fan, you need to make the trip to Disneyland and Disney's California Adventure and visit Cars Land. That is unlike anything I think I've ever seen. That is one of the greatest lands I think that Disney has ever created outside of the new Fantasy Springs at Tokyo Disney Sea. Also too, if you follow the floor, follow the colors on the floor, where does it lead you to? It leads you to the ink and paint shop and then the landscape of flavors, and that all has its own theming in there as well. But the next thing we're going to talk about is this up here, this chandelier. This thing has a purpose. And what's really cool is during Christmas time, every resort has their own Christmas tree, and they put the tree right here under the chandelier, and the star of the tree meshes up perfectly with this chandelier. Also, it needs to be noticed, this chandelier is at the very end of the hallway here, where everything is tied together. Yeah, if you zoom in, see if it'll show up. These are kind of rough sketches here. There's apparently a Lightning McQueen somewhere. It's either up here or it's down on the floor level, but he doesn't have his traditional 95. He's got a 57. All right, and there's a couple more signatures tucked away up here. I'm looking for Lasseter's signature. He's supposed to be on a Lightning McQueen somewhere. This panel right here, I want you to take a look at really closely. This is Josh Cooley's signature, but look at Lightning McQueen's number. It's a 57. Originally, Lightning McQueen was supposed to be 57 in the movie. That was Cooley's birth year, but it was later changed to 95, which represented the year Toy Story 1 came out. So that's the whole reason behind 95. And had things stayed the same, Lightning McQueen would have been number 57. But if you can look up here, there's a bunch. There's a bunch of signed art panels up here now. And you can see some of these, like on the on the Lion King drawings. They have some of the artists that worked on the Lion King sign these panels, and then this one over here. This is a very famous signature as well. Let's see if we can do this and block the sun. Jodie Benson signed that one as the Little Mermaid. Also, for those who may not know, I was talking about John Lasseter earlier. For those that don't know who he is, John Lasseter was the former head of Pixar Animation. So yeah, he's a big name in the Disney company. But once again, just like I pointed out in all my other vlogs, people walk right by this stuff and they don't even give it a second look, and there's so much history up here. As I've said in my other vlogs, take my videos with you and go look for this stuff. Pretty amazing. Also, one of the things that changed when this first opened, this was one of the few places, actually one of the only places on property where these were not cast members. The employees were not cast members. They were concept artists. Pretty cool. And over here is the ink and paint shop. And then we'll go on into the food court as well. So one of the things I want to show you as we move on from the lobby into the ink and paint shop, the theming continues. And if you take a look at the back walls, paint jars. all around. And to go along with the paint jars on the top, like people have been working, carpet's got paint splotches all over the place. And also, we have above each display, we have some sketches of Disney's characters next to the paint jars. And then on other ones, you have completed photos or completed drawings. The one thing I like about the Disney gift shops at their hotels and resorts, you can buy hotel specific shirts and memorabilia. So if you really enjoyed your stay here and you want something to remind you of it and you're a big fan of it, you can grab some merch to take home with you. But they have Spirit jerseys, they've got the lounge flies, beach towels, you know, even mugs. That's kind of a cool luggage tag there, the palette. And even down to cups and ornaments, so yeah. And again, it's at every single resort, even pins. That's a new Art of Animation resort pin. That's a cool pin. I do like that. I'm gonna have to add that one to my collection. But if you look around, the theming goes all the way around the entire gift shop here. Alright, next we're going to head into the Landscape of Flavors, and the theming continues in here. Also, it should be noted, all this flooring made of completely recyclable materials. So if you look, this food court is designed into different movies that are all featured. Animated movies that are featured here at Disney World. This one's Cars. Over here is Lion King. And then Little Mermaid's back that way. But you can see how the color palettes, the flooring, and everything changes as you move through this food court even. So like this is the Little Mermaid section, and the lights is like looking up in the ocean. And then, of course, all the artwork that surrounds it on the paintings and then the windows as well. What a cool detail, yeah? And over here in the Cars Land, the lights are like the sky. And then over here in the Lion King area, it's like looking up into the jungle. And you have all of the paintings that go along with it. And if you pay attention to the coloring, it's kind of a lot of the colors in here are that monochromatic color, which appears to change with the different lighting effects. And if you're a pressed penny fanatic, you can grab some Art of Animation pressed pennies right here in the food court. This is why people pay the extra to stay at Disney Resort, and that's why I get so aggravated at the modern designs that they're doing here at Disney. It doesn't look anything like this. This is every bit of attention to detail in here. All right, so now we're going to head on out into the actual resort, and you'll see it all comes together here in the lobby, and then you leave out the lobby to go to your resort room or the pool. You're stepping into the completed animated drawings. And you can see how big this place is. So we're right down here. There's Animation Hall. Aha, you are here. Little Mermaid over here, right? Jeez. Lion King. Cars. Finding Nemo. This pool right here, this is called the Big Blue Pool. This is one of the largest swimming pools on property. Oh, and one other thing I want to point out, just like I pointed out at all the other resorts, this doesn't have nearly as many pools, but it still has other swimming pools. So you have this main one, the Big Blue Pool, and then over here in the Little Mermaid section, you have a swimming pool there. And over in Cars Land, you also have another swimming pool. So I've got some really cool facts here for you I'm going to read off. All right, you ready? So overall on this resort, this property, this total size is 87 acres. 37 of those acres are devoted to landscaping and irrigation. And that covers the equivalent of the size of 20 football fields. There are over 529,000 square feet of ceramic tiles on this project. That's enough to cover a standard 2-lane road 4 miles long. There's enough metal railing around this entire property, just this property, just the Art of Animation property. There's enough metal railings to wrap around the Kia Center, formerly the Amway Center, in Orlando 8 times. That's a lot of metal railings. And this project they used 23,000 gallons of paint and over 2,300 parking spaces. And this resort's got 227,000 lineal feet of carpet, which if laid out end to end would stretch from downtown Orlando to the Kennedy Space Center. How about those for some facts? We're gonna work our way over to Radiator Springs. So we'll start there and then we'll head on out to the rest of the resort. And of course they got all kinds of swimming pool bars and all that like the other resorts have. So here we are, Radiator Springs. We got the sheriff right here. Now these cars also have special details on them, which we'll point out as we move through this. And then the Ornament Valley. And you can see even on the buildings, the theming. There's famous Doc Hudson. Also, one other thing I wanted to point out, this resort also, like many of the other value resorts, opened in sections. This particular section opened in June 18th, 2012. So it's a little over 10 years old. And obviously in all these sections, there's hidden Mickeys everywhere, which that's a whole nother project we have to work on. And you can see as we work our way through this section, we have the roadway. And even the rock work along with the grass, just like you would see along Route 66.
Where am I?
So this is what they were talking about earlier. If you look at the clouds up on the resort, some of them look just like cars. And this is cool, the Cozy Cone Motel. The other thing I wish they would have done here is like they have in Disneyland, is that cone fountain out front where the water spills into the road cones and it spins the wheel around. But over here on this part of the hotel, you've got Luigi's. And like I said, here we got the Cozy Cone. I think that lights up at night. I think it looks like it would. And then this is the pool. We'll go through this, I'll show you that in a second, like you're going into the check-in desk. And right here in this section is Tow Mater. Mater has some pretty neat little details on him. One of the neatest details, which is probably right here, this is actually featured in Toy Story Land as well over at Hollywood Studios. But that's A-113, and that's the, you can see that in a lot of the Pixar films. It's the license plate number for all the cars in the animated feature, and it refers to classroom A113 at the Lasseter and other future Pixar artists where they all had classes. So that's the classroom number. So over here, where Luigi's Casa della Tires is, there's a really neat little reference over here. You got to look closely, but you do some digging, it's got a pretty cool reference. So this right here, this plate number, it's actually kind of a lot of people originally thought this was a joke about Italy's metric system, but this is actually the coordinates, GPS coordinates for a Ferrari manufacturing plant in Maranello, Italy. So you see Luigi's license plate, that's the actual coordinates for one of the Ferrari plants in Italy. Because he always talks about how he loves his Ferraris. And up there is that Fiat. I'm not sure if you've ever heard this, but that's for Fix It Again, Tony. You got all kinds of decorations here. And I love this. Charge card. Charge your engine with the charge card. Drivers Club International instead of Diners Club, and Fastlane Express card, and American Express. So actually, I haven't seen this pool yet before. Last time I came through here, this was all being refurbished. And then these pools over here, these are also a lot less chaotic than the main one. And they also even included the little cones, like the hotel rooms from the movie. They're actual cabanas. I think these are first come, first serve, I think. And in the building on the very back is one of the main features from the movie. So as we leave Radiator Springs, the next one we go to is the Little Mermaid section. And the gulls up there actually every so often will yell out in their famous saying, mine, 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 mine. But I think it's really creative on how they use Imagineering. They covered the stairwells. Obviously you need stairwells for safety and egress and everything else, but to cover it up and make it look like, you know, everything blends in, they took and put the dock poles around the steps. And that's how a lot of the stairwells are done out at these resorts here. One of the other things I want to point out, look how the plant life changes from Radiator Springs to now over here in the Finding Nemo area, how the plants more represent like coral and if you were under the ocean. Once again, theming, attention to detail. And as you walk through here, it's like we're under the sea. But even the bushes, these are all designed like it looks like you're on the seafloor right here. And one of the really neat features all of these resort or the value resorts have is at the entrance to their various buildings, they all have one giant fixture out front representing the movie that they're representing. So we're in Finding Nemo, and there's Crush over there with Dory. And one thing I want to point out, we pointed out that big blue pool over there. Again, I don't want to film too much of it. It's a busy day out here, and there's a lot of families, so I'm just going to kind of keep it simple. But one neat fact on that, remember I said it was the resort's largest pool, Disney World Resort's largest pool? Some stats I got on that. It's 11,859 square feet, 310,000 gallons of water. It's the largest resort pool in Walt Disney World. And then there's Mr. Ray, who we just walked by. Right here, his wingspan is 27 feet and he overlooks the area, as does the gigantic Crush on the other side right over there. They also, in this pool, have underwater speakers. Guests can hear conversation from the characters from the movie, as well as musical selections. There's a stereo effect with the sound moving so that the creatures seem to swim past you. Big Blue Pool has a depth of 4 foot 8 inches. One other thing I want to see if I can find, apparently the pool rules are written on a pair of goggles, which are the same ones, well, it's a replica of the same ones lost when Nemo was captured. I literally walked right past this. It kind of blends in, but there they are. Pool rules on the on the diving mask or the goggles.
If you are on a red star.
They apparently somewhere on here is the identification of P. Sherman, 42 Wallaby Way, Sydney, NSW. Let's see if we can find that. There it is. What a cool detail, right? I mean, how neat is that? So if you're at this Big Blue Pool, look for the goggles or this diving mask with the pool rules on it and look behind it. There's the address of what they used to find Nemo. There's the big Crush with Dory. And then you can see how the theming just continues. All right, everybody, so we're gonna have to head on back. The weather is starting to get a little threatening here. And also, I think we've gone on a pretty good way here. To get there's still 2 more areas of this resort I haven't even touched yet. So, like Wilderness Lodge, we're gonna have to divide this up, which is fine, it's good. I like being able to do that. And this is a gigantic kids play area with Squirt. Yeah, because we still have the Little Mermaid and Lion King. But I also want to stay ahead of this weather because it is supposed to be really bad today. Speaking of which, remember I was just talking about the stairwells and how well they theme them and cover them up. There's another stairway right there. how they covered it up and themed it with coral. This is the rescue device that formerly Reedy Creek, now known as the District Fire Rescue, uses to help people if that Skyliner were to ever have an issue on this lake. You can also see the size of this resort over yonder. That's the Little Mermaid section. But all of that equipment right there, that is used to help get people out of the Skyliner should it stop over the lake and not be able to get going again for quite a while. So they'll use that. That's real good grammar too. Not be able to get going for a while. That's fantastic, Matt. So that piece of equipment there, they use that. The fire department response out here. They get in those vehicles on the water and they go to each capsule and they can get people to safety. Here we are back at the Disney Skyliner, and we are headed to Hollywood Studios again. Off we go. That over there is Pop Century, which we have yet to cover that one. That's a cool resort.
The Disney Skyliner at Disney's Pop Century Resort and Disney's Art of Animation Resort. We are on our way to Disney's Caribbean Beach Resort with connecting flights to Disney's Hollywood Studios and Epcot International Gateway. As children, collect your belongings and watch your step. Thank you for flying with us.
Back here at the main hub, heading to Studios. Here we come, in for a landing.
Please remain seated until the doors automatically open. When exiting the cabin, please supervise children, collect your belongings, and watch your step. Thank you for flying with us.
Back home again. All right. Well, thank you everybody for coming along with me to the Art of Animation Resort. I hope you enjoyed that. Again, I was gonna try to do it all at once, but one, I always underestimate these resorts. I always forget how gigantic they are and how much there truly is to see there, and to lay everything out and explain everything and go see everything. It's a disservice to try to rush through it. So like Wilderness Lodge and many other ones we're gonna split this one up into multiple parts. So I hope you all enjoy it. Thank you again for coming along, and like I said, any feedback on my vlogs, unless you're being just a complete asshole, you know, everything's well received. Trust me on this. It's the only way that you learn and grow. So I am, you know, the biggest thing right now is we're changing the name. We're gonna move forward with that, and we'll always remember Main Street Fire Rescue is what got us all started. So again, thank you all for your support. I really appreciate it. Any Disney resorts, or even the ones at Universal, or even some of the larger resorts around Orlando, anything you want to see showcased, let me know. And if it's ones outside of Disney, I'll find a way to do some research, and we'll go look for some cool shit. Have a fantastic afternoon, everybody. What you've seen has been the truth, and it's been actual, and I hope it was mighty satisfactual. See ya.